Good day to you, brothers and sisters. I wish to speak with you today about worry. Worry is a particular invention of the ego that has a perverse logic to it. There's an old story about two gentlemen meeting each other and deciding to have tea together. And as they're speaking, one notices that the other keeps tapping the top of his head as he speaks again and again. And he says to him, "I notice you keep tapping the top of your head. Is something wrong?" He said, "No, I do that to keep the bears away." And the man said, "Are you serious?" He said, "Absolutely." He said, "Well, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, I don't see how that would keep bears away. How do you know it works?" And the man says, "Well, you don't see any bears, do you?" So this is the essence of worry. It's the belief that if you tense yourself up, if you concern yourself with the future, if you anticipate possible bad things happening, maybe that very act would prevent bad things from happening, because very often they don't happen. Mark Twain once said, "I'm an old man and I've had some terrible troubles in my day, and most of them never happened." But worry is actually a distraction from the grace of God. It guarantees that you stay in a state of fear, a tense anticipating of the worst. And the reward, ostensibly, for worrying is that you're preventing bad things from happening. If you worry about them, maybe they won't happen. But there is no relationship between worry and what happens to you, especially if you think what happens to you is coming from something external to you. Consequently, in a state of worry, you aren't in the present, and you're tensing up your body and restricting the flow of life. So maybe very few of the troubles that you anticipate occur, but your experience of life is greatly shut off from the flow of love and protection that comes from your willingness to be vulnerable. The worry is how you gird yourself so that you can be not disappointed. What you're blocking is all the riches and the love and the peace and the appreciation that comes from living in the moment and trusting that you're completely safe. This one comes from a long line of worriers. His grandmother worried, his mother worried. He married a woman who worried all the time about her children. And he worries. Left to his own devices, he worries. He was told once that years ago in Germany, the Jewish people didn't worry. They thought they had assimilated into the culture, and they relaxed, thinking they were Germans, never believing that their fellow citizens would turn on them and assist in their extermination. Having lived through this experience, culturally, the Jewish people are reluctant to unclench their hearts and allow themselves to feel safe, believing that the comfort that they thought they had, trusting their fellow citizens, turned out to be foolish. Better to worry, better to anticipate anti-Semitism, hatred. Better to be suspicious than relax and be foolish. It kind of makes sense. Except it is antithetical to everything that is life itself. You can tell yourself not to worry, but that doesn't usually help. And when people say, don't worry, it doesn't usually have much of an effect. To relax your grip, to let yourself trust the next breath, to become present to what is instead of what might be. It takes practice. What I recommend is that you look around you in the moment and see what you have been blessed with that is giving you a template, a way to rethink your life, a new context, a new perspective that will help you trust what is. What is love. What is complete peace. If you are lucky enough to be surrounded by pets, notice how little they worry. Notice how in the moment they are. This one is blessed with a partner who has never worried. And it has been an education for him. He looks at her and says, how is this possible? How can you wake up happy? How are you able to not be concerned with the things that I'm concerned about? And it has given him a different perspective. He watches her and notices that life seems to work out fine without worrying. It's right in his face. He sees someone operating from a different set of beliefs. And he's starting to try them on. One way to alleviate worry, if you have a legitimate concern, is to take action. Worrying about climate change doesn't help with the climate. Worrying about the economy doesn't help. But if there's action to be taken, and you're committed to something that you believe in, take that action. What you will find is that you don't have to wait for the climate to reverse itself for you to stop worrying. The worry will disappear shortly after you make the efforts in the direction that you want, not out of fear, but out of your commitment to health, to the environment, to love, to peace, to justice. Whatever it is that concerns you, rather than worry about it, take the appropriate action. You'll find that worry is left in the dust. And even if your actions don't make a noticeable difference, the fact that you are engaged will. Look around at the blessings. If you are used to worrying, look around at the blessings in your life. Look at the lilies in the field, who neither spin nor toil. Notice how the birds somehow get through all the seasons, find food. Look at nature. Allow yourself to be present to a universe that knows not of worry, and take your place in that universe. Let your pets and your friends and life teach you that it's okay to open your heart, and that whatever happens, all is well. You can move through your life feeling lighthearted and carefree, knowing that all is well. It takes practice, but it is well worth it. Open up to the love that you are and the peace that you are. And the strength that is your honest vulnerability. If you're afraid of something, say so. And then if you can, take action. And if there's no action to be taken, take a deep breath and let yourself feel the peace of God. It is who you are. I love you very much. And I'll speak with you again soon.